All right, and welcome back. I've been trying to get together some of these videos to figure out how to show all the little things that kind of go into where I'm at right now. Obviously, I've got the engine hanging. I've got the fuselage and the tail cone all put together. It's up on its wheels. I've got the wings probably 90% complete at this point. But now it's a bunch of little things like this, trying to get all the different components of the engine put together, all of the hoses, the fuel, the oil, here putting on the alternator, and just trying to kind of stay in step with the instruction book, but also realizing that you kind of have to skip around here and there. I'm putting in the IO390 EXP119, and so there's a few different modifications that you have to do, or different steps in place of what's in the normal installation book. And so going through OP, I believe it's OP61, it's got several replacement pages to several of the different sections. And so trying to keep up with where I'm actually supposed to integrate those steps into each of those sections is kind of a job in and of itself. So like I said, here you see me put into some of these smaller items and trying to kind of quickly go through what I've been up to and kind of get you caught up. So what you saw just a moment ago was me putting in, I finally got these sensors for the oil pressure, fuel pressure, and those different sensors. I went to Dynan, and they actually have I think it was called a firewall forward engine kit. It's all the sensors basically. And so I went ahead and ordered that, and now I'm ready to put those in place and wire into and go with the Dynan system that I'm planning to put in. One of the things I was trying to do is just to get everything in the firewall done and plugged up, and I want to get the engine to a point to where I can basically seal it again, because it's going to be sitting for a while I'm working on the rest of this, obviously. So here I'm working on the cowling attach points, the piano hinge for the cowling. This is the firewall side of it. I made a mistake when I first had done this, so I had to reorder this piano hinge, and so that's why half of it looks like it was already pre-done and kind of catching up. But I made the mistake of trying to dimple the piano hinge, and it needed to be countersunk because it's thicker material. And so that completely screwed up that original piece. So I finally got that replacement part in, and that's what you see me working on now, is the piano hinge portion for the firewall to then attach the cowling to. So some of the projects that I have left is finishing up all the stuff that's going to attach to the engine, all the control cables, the oil cooler, all of those things. And then I want to make sure that I have it all buttoned up, and I've got basically a dehumidifier to pull all the moisture out of the air that's going through the engine block to keep it, prevent it from getting rust and stuff inside. And then aside from that, doing all these small little things here and there, the fairings inside the cockpit area, working on the panel area, finishing the wiring installation in the cockpit. So I still got a lot of small things, but then there's the obvious glaring large project that's remaining, and that's the canopy. It's starting to warm up again, so I'm going to probably be attacking that here within the next month or two and trying to get that all just done. Several folks in the area have been very helpful in getting, allowing me to utilize tools that they've used to form different things and that kind of thing. So it's been very helpful to be a part of that local RV-14 builders group here in the Lincoln, California area. And so shout out to all those. Your help's greatly appreciated, both in things that you provide for tools and whatnot, but also just for advice and helping to make sure that I'm not doing something that I shouldn't be doing. So that is greatly appreciated. So going forward here, like I said, working on this part here to get the piano hinges installed on the firewall side. My next step is going to be doing the cowling side and getting all of that situated. I've got the constant speed prop that I got that I ordered at the same time as the engine. It's been sitting a while, and I've heard that there's some issue with the oil seeping out or leaking if it's sat too long. So that's something I'm going to have to look into and find out if that is indeed an issue that I have to kind of remedy. So aside from that, just again going through the sections, the cowling and the prop are going to be the next ones, followed by the cowling. And then also I finally got some coax cable, so I'm going to finish wiring in the wingtip VOR antenna. And so those are kind of the things I'm focusing on now. As it starts to get warmer, it'll start allowing me to do some different sections. But it's slowly come together. I'm just at the point of the build where it's a lot. It just seems to be a lot of small pieces that all come together to make the big project happen. So I appreciate all of you that have continued to follow along, and especially those who are leaving comments or questions or looking for answers to something. I really appreciate the community, and I appreciate those who either provide some kind of input on how I could do something better, or have a question and are looking for clarification on something I did. So if you want to leave a question, by all means, I get to you as soon as I see it. And otherwise, I appreciate y'all stopping by, and we'll see you next time.